you.
Oh, it's
you were
me.
going to say something.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah? You were going to say something.
Anyway, welcome back to Friday's 6 o'clock show. It is a 6 o'clock show. It's Friday. We're on. We've been catching up with the nation's favourite architect, Dermott Bannon, already tonight. There he is.
Our next guest knew she was different from a very early age when she realised not everyone could see the spirits around them.
As well as going to her to make contact with those who have passed on, her many fans also seek her help for healing. Welcome medium, healer and best-selling author, HELEN Parry-Jones.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, we mentioned that it was quite young when you realised that you had this gift. What's your earliest recollection?
Well, first of all my work, no matter what I'm doing, comes under the umbrella of healing. Whether I'm, like I said, whether I'm giving a message or whether I'm actually in an emotional way or whether it's actually hands-on healing. It's all about healing. And I first knew that from an early age because when I was 4, my guide was introduced to me and I actually saw, first of all, cats and dogs running up and down the stairs, Tigger and Arthur at my nan's house, and then Sam, my guide, was introduced to me when I was 4. And he explained who he was.
So who is Sam?
Sam is my guide. We all have a guide. It's just that a lot of people can't see their guides. And I can really understand how difficult that may be to understand.
Yeah.
But we all have a guide. We all have a guardian. And so maybe if we have time, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But he introduced himself to me and said that I had a particular ability to be able to learn how to heal and that all of my work was involving healing.
Wow.
And he said originally that I needed the clairvoyance to be able to understand what they were going to teach me in the future because it was through that that I would be able to connect with them and understand and deliver the powerful impact that I can do.
How old were you when, and what was it like when you...
Well, originally when I was 4, I used to see sort of shadows in the bedroom and then they developed into as physically as you are sitting here. People. And at 4, I just thought that originally... 4
Yeah.
I was originally. But gradually, as I gradually grew older and throughout my teens, this developed. And so my gift wasn't completely there from the beginning.
Right.
It developed. But the gift of clairvoyance was the first gift that I had. So that was the first instance. And it was to connect, to be able to understand what was happening afterwards.
And you mentioned there, you said the name Tigger, and that was your nan's cat who had
Yes,
passed on
Tigger and
that you
Arthur.
used to play with in her house, and the cat was dead, sort of thing. So, but some people weren't very happy with this gift that you had, right?
My parents, definitely. I was an only daughter, and they wanted their daughter to exceed in the way that normal children did. And Sam explained to me from an early age that I could see and feel things that other children probably can't, and that it was going to be very difficult for others to be able to understand it. So I can quite understand that it's quite difficult for people to accept the abilities that I have. But it's there, and I've written about my life and my life journey and some of the experiences that I've had.
Wow.
And some people, and this is quite interesting because it's so serious and everything. But you know, you've documented that people who are missing or people who have passed on, who have been perhaps murdered, they've contacted.
Well, I think in every instance whether somebody communicates to me, it's because there is a love link. It's because they want that love link to be connected. And an emotional situation, as horrible as it is with murder cases, you know, sometimes those poor people obviously need closure. But in the cases that I've worked on with the murder cases, I didn't actually go out to specifically work in them. I was invited to work on those cases. And in the first instance, I was actually delivering my very, very first public performance. And it was in front of 200 people. And literally in front of 200 people, the murdered schoolgirl came through and she had a guide by her side and she was with another girl, and the guide said, OK, you can touch Helen now. And literally she touched my arm, it's like I'm touching Dermott now, and I literally crumbled on the stage. I could feel every terrifying moment that poor girl felt. It was the most frightening thing I've ever experienced. Wow. And that was live in front of 200 people. And then she went on to pick a man out of the audience. And she said, this man can help me. And he was like, nope. No. And she insisted. And it turned out, eventually I made him stand up, and it turned out that he was indeed a CID officer who actually was not involved particularly with the case, but knew about the case and was actually in the same facility. And he stopped the evening and took notes.
We got a message from one of our viewers, Barbara Clinton, was in touch. She said, I went to see Helen when my dad was murdered 18 years ago. The things she told me, no one could have known, she said. She messaged. I was wondering, do you ever get to switch off?
Well, These days,
Yeah.
it's like being in a busy restaurant for me. I'm sure if you're with your family and your friends and you're sitting around a nice, busy restaurant table, we're engulfed, aren't we? We're captured by the people that's with us. So you don't really notice all the other people in the background. But if you was to just kind of tune into your radio man behind there or your film people, then we would start to see their features. We would start to hear what they're going to say. And that's what it's like for me now. At the beginning, no. When I was young, I was bombarded. Literally bombarded.
And is there, OK, like I know this is something you can't just switch on and off, but would you think there are spirits in the room right now?
Well, this is an interesting energy here. I mean, we're in front of cameras where there's a lot of electricity, a lot of different energies going on. There's your energy, my energy, Dermott. And so we've all brought in our own energies. We're not sitting here in a sort of common place of wanting to heal or wanting to have messages. Right. But if we were doing that, then there's a strong possibility that something would come through, because if somebody has a real need, then that need is answered. And quite often it's so important to give a message from your loved ones in spirit, because for me, it's not, I'm not giving the message, your loved ones are doing it. Yeah. It's down to them, so who knows, maybe they'll troop through tonight.
They do expose in here, I can sense Glenda.
But you said as well, when you first met Dermott, when we were in the makeup room...
Poor Dermott.
You said straight up, poor Dermott. I'm so sorry. What did you say about his energy? What sort of energy does he have?
Dermott's energy is amazing, and he has the most beautiful orange aura. It's fantastic. And,
is that just...
That's the makeup.
He's wearing too much makeup?
And if we're thinking about things...
What's an orange aura?
An orange aura is actually where you've resolved something. So you've actually resolved an issue quite recently between someone or a situation.
Katie.
And it's... you know, you've dealt with it, which is good. But your energies for the next sort of... because I deal with energy and I feel energy. And what makes me different, of course, from... because people call me a medium and a healer, and I don't... that's just a definition. But actually, I feel I'm more than that, because I feel the energy. And if we can go on and talk about that in a minute, that would be great.
But you were finishing off
but
my
I'm
reading.
finishing off you. What I love about you, Dermott, is the way that you can pick up on energies within buildings. I love that. Now, you never told me that outside, but I feel that. And I think when you are doing something, you actually are like me. You have a passion for what you do, and you do it for the best of everybody's ability. And what I loved as well was the injection of healing that you put into that house. You love to make that a place where people can really be loved, can really love what they're doing. That's what I felt about you. And I think that's very special, actually.
Thank you.
That is. Can you take that now and put that and sell that to people when they're like, you're trying to...
I'm putting
that in a frame.
Well, actually, what I really felt as well is that you're going to do something that involves a project to do with children. And it was something that was either going to be created or made specifically for children, but not a school. So are you involved with anything like that at the moment?
This is freaking me out. It is. Yeah, I haven't told anybody.
Are you?
Yeah, well, no, hold on a second. I'm not, because this is live TV.
You're not allowed to say, but your granny's telling me.
What?
She's right behind you, and she's telling me.
Your granny.
I think this is your dad's mum, and she doesn't suffer fools gladly, does
No.
she? Oh, my goodness.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? This girl is the best. I want to speak to my Dermy.
I was approached a couple of days ago about a project. And
Just a couple of days?
I haven't told anybody else, but I was fascinated by it, and I...
Will you do it?
If I can, I will. If I
Good.
can. So
I think that's going to have great rewards.
I'm trying to put things into place to be able
We
to
have
do
to
it.
know now, don't we?
Yeah. So that's...
And it's very bright. And it's beautiful energy. And you see, with my healing, I really associate to kids that have difficult needs, and especially Asperger's and also autistic kids. And I know that you have a connection where you want to help that.
Oh,
wow,
my God.
And my next book is going to be for children for that particular
I wanted to talk about the book which is out this month. It's called Beyond Boundaries. This is all dealt with in more detail in this.
Yes.
It's out on the 26th of April, and you can get it on
We're going to talk about it more. We are.
More coming up. We'll have loads more from Helen and Dermott, but now loads of you have been getting in touch already from home about enjoying the sun tonight. It looks lovely out there. Katrina was on WhatsApp. She's in Dublin. She says, "This is my little dog Ernie sunbathing out the back today on the good chair out the back,
Good chair.
making the most most of the nice weather. Have we got the pic of... There's Ernie. Oh, my goodness. Do you know what?
Look at him.
Dermot, I don't know about you, but I'd say that's a pretty good chair.
Too good a chair to be lying around on.
Matthew's in a leash. He's got the 6 o'clock show blasting in the kitchen, and I'm watching through the window from the garden. Best of both worlds. Bring out, if you're watching us on the iPad, bring out and take a picture of doing that.
Outside.
After the break, we'll be hearing from author, nutritionist, and former Playboy model Anne-Marie Posma, and Dermot and Helen will be staying with us too.
Don't forget, we want to hear from more from you at home, so get the phone out and send us any comments, questions, or pics to us tonight to 083 360 60 60, and we'll see you back here in just a few.